Hey everybody, Darren here. So I've come on here today to answer a question that I've seen posed, especially nowadays. This question is getting more and more prevalent with people working at jobs that aren't paying the bills, and with also people who are on unemployment and looking to find a job that pays better than unemployment so that they can get off of unemployment and pay for their own bills. And the question is this: how can I get a union construction job? So that's the question that we're going to address today. And I would say, I've been thinking about this for a minute. By the way, I'm a field rep for the Operative Plasters and Cement Masons International Organization. And so it's my job to talk to people who want a job in construction, specifically in plastering and concrete. But I know quite a bit about the other trades as well. And it's pretty much the same depending on which trade you want to go into, if it's an electrician or plumbing or roofing or carpentry or anything like that. It's going to be pretty much the same throughout the trades. But I think there's two ways that I've come up with. Number one, just reach out to the union itself. If you live in a city that has a union local in your city, reach out to the union itself and tell them that you're interested in joining. That's one way. If the union, there's a lot of ifs going on here, but if the union needs more people at that time, if they're open to taking on more members, then you might have a good chance of getting in. And I would say right now, the climate is such that a lot of the unions are taking on new members, so you might have a good chance there. Another way, though, is if you already have a job working for a non-union employer and you don't think you're making enough money, then what you can do in that case is you can unionize. Your employer won't like it that I'm telling you that, but you have a right in the United States, you have a right to form a union as a group of people who work for a contractor, and you also have a right to choose who you want to represent you. So you can form your own union, is what I'm saying, depending on the size of your company and stuff. What I would do if I were you and you thought that might be one of the ways you want to go is, I would contact your local union that's in the trade that you're talking about. So let's say it's carpentry. I would contact your local carpenters union, and they can help you with that. They can help you with the legalities of that. They can help you guide you through it. You're taking a big risk. I'm not going to lie to you. Your contractor probably isn't going to like it, because what you're doing, if you're not negotiating with him alone, when you do that, you put yourself, in my opinion, I wouldn't say on a bad footing, but when you are negotiating with an employer who, if he doesn't like what you're asking him for, he could just fire you, which that's illegal, and he knows it, but you don't know that. If you ask for too much and he doesn't like it, he can just get rid of you and get somebody else. So you're taking a risk that you could lose your job if you attempt to do it as a group. It could be bad. It could turn out bad for you. That's why I say go for the help of the union, because the union knows the ins and outs of how to do that, the legalities of it, and they can help represent you if you choose. They can help you to run a campaign like that and unionize your workplace. So that's another way. The union, even if they are not taking new applicants at the time, like let's say the work is slow and they don't have enough room to take new people into the union at that time, this second way that I've mentioned is a way that they will probably be interested in talking to you about. So those are the two ways. Right now, I think your chances are good at getting into a union just by going and basically knocking on the door, making an appointment with one of the business agents or the organizer. Those are the terms they use, either the organizer or the business agent. And your chances are pretty good, because right now the work is picking up and there's actually a shortage of labor for construction jobs. So chances are, depending on where you live, now this isn't always 100% true, but it's it's mostly true that union jobs pay more and the union jobs have better benefits. Almost always better benefits, and usually, I'd say maybe 90% of the time, they pay more. There's going to be a lot of people who don't like what I'm saying here. They disagree with me. That's fine. I've done both, and I will say without a doubt, there's no way I could have raised my family without the union. If I had stuck with going non-union, I just don't see it happening. The competition is too great. What I mean by that is there's just too many people that are willing to work for a lower wage to where I couldn't make a living. So what I chose to do instead is join with the union, where the union negotiates your wage on your behalf, and then of course you pay dues and stuff to be a member of the union, but in the long run you benefit more because you have someone to represent you. You get negotiated wage raises usually every year. You usually have good benefits, and so forth, and the union takes care of a lot of the problems that you really couldn't do on your own. So are there any other ways to join the union? Sure. I guess you could work for the union, apply for a job through the union. The union, a lot of people look at the union as a separate entity in and of itself, and the union is the union, and then the workers are the workers. That's not true. A lot of people will talk as if the union is some high and mighty. You have no control over the union. That's not true. The union is a conglomeration of the workers who want to participate and run the union. So the union is the workers. It's the people who lead the union are the workers in that union. Most of the time you'll have a business manager or agents who have the same experience that you have working. For example, I've been a business agent, and I've been all the way from working non-union all the way up through working at the union, and now I work for the International, which is sort of the head over all of the unions in the United States and Canada. So, I mean, I've worked in most of the different places and then some, which, I won't get into too much detail on my whole life story, but just to make it quick, I've seen pretty much all of it. And I can tell you from my personal experience that the union for me was definitely the way to go. The day that I chose to quit my job and join the union, I was scared. It was difficult. It was a difficult decision. I had a good job. I had just had a bad day on the job and quit my job, which I never do. So you could tell I must have had a bad day. I quit my job, and somebody said, well, you should come over to the union, and I did, and I've never looked back. Nowadays I've made up with my previous employer. He's a good guy. I love the guy. Have nothing against him. He treated workers fairly. I just had a bad day. But the union usually works with larger employers, and in that case I was able to make more money and have benefits, which I didn't have at the other job. So does that mean I hate non-union? No, I don't. I know a lot of good non-union companies that are really good with their employees, and we usually just leave them alone because they do a pretty good job taking care of their employees. In fact, I know a couple that do maybe even a better job than the union. So there you go. You heard that from me. There's not much the union can say if the employer is taking really good care of their employees. We really have nothing to say. The only ones we want to help are the ones who maybe aren't getting as much as they probably deserve for their labor. So that's it. That's how you join a union. If anybody wants to say anything, so this is a video, but I'll have a link below to a blog page where you might be able to comment there and get in touch with me if you'd like, but if you have any other questions. But that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's it. We're going to probably keep going on with these videos on other topics having to do with labor and unions. joining unions, and so look out for more videos about it. This is Darren again signing off. See you later.